Okay, everyone, we'll call the meeting to order. Good morning. My name is John Von Paris, and I am the chairman of the MDTA Finance Committee. Hereby call the meeting of the Finance Committee to order at 9 a.m. In accordance with the live streaming law, this meeting is being conducted via video conference and is being live streamed on the MDTA Finance Committee webpage. All members will have their video active during the entirety of the meeting. To minimize background noise during the call, I would ask that everyone on the line please mute your phones except when speaking. I ask that those who are presenting or answering a question to please turn your video and audio on when speaking. When you are done, please turn your video off and put your audio on mute. There are no members of the public, no elected officials, and no media who have pre-registered to comment at this morning's meeting. I would like to mention that there has been a presenter change for agenda item number 2. Captain Arian Warren will now be presenting this item. This time we will begin with agenda item number 1. Has everyone received the minutes from the open meeting minutes from open meeting Finance Committee meeting of June 8th, 2023? Are there any corrections or changes? If not, is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Member Ardinger, I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The minutes are approved. And we will move on to agenda item number 2. Contract number J01B340036, and Captain Warren is here to present. Good morning, Captain Warren. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Mr. Von Paris. Again, my name's Captain Arian Warren. The actual MDTA police contract manager for this is Sergeant Joe Hoyer. He's on vacation, so I'm going to handle the briefing the best I can. I have to say this is the first briefing I've ever done. But if you have questions that I can't answer, I'll be happy to follow up on whatever you need. Again, this is contract J01B36000034. It's under maximum number TE0021069. It is the LSAG license plate recognition system maintenance contract. It's funded 100% with toll revenues. We're seeking to enter a sole source contract with Celex ES, which is a Leonardo company, for the provision of an on-call maintenance and service plan for the LSAG license plate recognition system. This contract is needed to maintain the MDTA police LPR system, which includes 84 fixed site LPR cameras spread throughout the MDTA. There is LPR coverage at each MDTA facility. The scope of the services include field service, preventative and corrective maintenance, and maintenance and support services for the LPR system, including the Leonardo Company LSAG Enterprise Operations Center, which is we refer to as EOC, central monitoring software, camera hardware and camera firmware protocols, including those 84 fixed LPR cameras, associated parts, technical support, including the LPR software and camera troubleshooting, repairs, and replacement as needed. The total amount for this contract is $2,254,921.76. That's for a base term of 3 years with a 1-2-year renewal option. It's being procured using the sole source method. The Celex ES, the LSAG software and the camera firmware is proprietary, and LSAG is the only firm that can maintain the system for us. The state allowance items are $170,000. That's allowance for miscellaneous repairs and services. The engineer's estimate for this contract was $2,236,016. The RFQ was sent to Celex ES on May 9th, and the pricing was received on May 22nd of this year. obviously it was sole source, so it was just the one bid that was received. And Select's price was the 2,254,921.76. We are recommending award of this contract to Selex ES, which we refer to as LSAG. The low bid price was less than 1% higher than the engineer's estimate. There were no bid protests or rejections. There's no justification was needed for the price, as it was within 1% of the engineer's estimate. The MBE goal is 14% with no sub goals. The VSBE goal is 1%. Selex ES has submitted the MBE plan with 14% MBE and 1% VSBE, and the MBE plan was approved by MDTA Civil Rights and Fair Practices. Selex has worked with our agency for over 7 years, and we've received excellent support from them. The NTP is anticipated by September 6th, of 23, the expected BPD approval date. And we are seeking recommended approval from the Capital Committee to present this contract to the full MDTA board in anticipation of approval for the contract award.
Okay, thank you for your very thorough presentation. Are there any questions for Captain Warren? Okay, I do have a question or two. Nothing big, but I understand, you know, this is a proprietary system, right? So, and don't worry if you don't have. I know you're filling in here today. You're doing a great job. My question is: this is a kind of we've had 7 years experience with this vendor. That's pretty accurate, I would say, right?
Yes.
And so my question is, I know it's proprietary system, so that's why we're in a sole source situation. When we talk about correcting things or fixing bugs or so forth, is that would that normally be something we would do with is that something that was caused in the past by the vendor, and certainly, or is it up to us, or is our responsibility? I'm just curious about that.
So
if there is a problem with the system, if there are bugs in the system or the software, whatever, just curious how that would work or why that would be our responsibility.
well, I believe in that case, if like we normally maintain and verify that, you know, it's working. That's what Sergeant Hoyer would do. He would normally verify that the cameras are working and everything. But then if there is an issue, then he would, you know, file and troubleshoot or try to troubleshoot the issue, figure out if it's with the assistance of engineering or IT, to figure out if it's our issue, like a power issue, or if it's their issue. And then at that point, they would, you know, send somebody out to help, you know, figure out the problem.
So we have a process in place for that, for checking that, to make sure that it's, you know,
That's what's currently happened as far as I'm aware at this point. I mean, I can also verify that and follow up with you to, you know, verify that's the case. But that's my understanding, that if Sergeant Hoyer would find an issue, we would verify with engineering or ITS that it wasn't our issue, like a power issue, which would be an MDTA problem, and then we would make arrangements for them to, you know, bring whoever they need out, a tech or whatever, to fix that problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. For the record, I'm Sushmita Mitra. Good morning, members. I just wanted to kind of chime in. So our ITS and electrical section in MDTA's Office of Engineering and Construction has traditionally always provided support for this contract. And, you know, they have actually developed the original contract which installed the system, and also the maintenance contract that was installed. So we have a dedicated team of folks who kind of help with troubleshooting or with various aspects of technical issues that come up. So they do look at those issues and they do troubleshoot and work with the police and the vendor to troubleshoot them.
Okay, thank you, Sushmita. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Captain Moran. Okay. I guess if there are no other questions, is there a motion to approve this item as presented to the full board for consideration?
So moved, Member Carroll.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Member Rosen, thank you. Any further discussion? Right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And thank you, Captain, for your a great presentation today. Thank you. You did a great
Thank you,
job.
sir.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, I know it's been a long day here for everyone, so we will move on to the final. That's important work. You know, there were things that have to move the authority along, and this is important. Some days we have many more hours into the meeting, but anyway, we get to the point where we need a motion to adjourn.
Member Ardinger, I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second, Member Carroll.
Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We stand adjourned. Thank you all very much.